Let me first share with you what Vadhwani Foundation is and what do we do. Just take 10 seconds. So we are a global philanthropic organization. We work in 28 countries, India being the largest, spread across the world from Latin America right till Southeast Asia. And the entire agenda which we drive is skilling, entrepreneurship, and MSME vertical. So this is what we drive in all the countries. So now coming to very specific aspects. First, let me touch upon in the earlier part of the day. You saw, we are very us and with ICT Academy. What we are bringing on the table. So I just wanted to share that part with you. So let me start with the first part. We talk about the foundation skills in the morning today, and generally when we talk about foundation skills in the morning, we always talk about definitely the never-changing communication skills, teamwork, things like problem solving. But I must take this opportunity to share 2-3 more new things in this area. How many of you believe that data visualization, is it a soft skill or a technical skill? Able to produce data and present, is it required only by IT or retail and healthcare and everyone? Everyone, right? So what is happening is skills like data visualization, skills like entrepreneurial mindset, never give up. Who needs it? Everyone. Perseverance, who needs it? Everyone. So the whole aspect of the foundation skills is also evolving. And what we bring on the table with ICT Academy, very proud of delivering this, is all these skills available to all of you, at no cost. We drive this all across the world with all the countries together. Now let me take a step back and now take you to some of the things which are happening today. So let me first talk about academia and then I will talk about industry. So let's go to the academia first. So if you look at today, we always know andragogy, then pedagogy. Do you think time has come to change this? Now you might be worried. But let me give you an example. If suppose heutagogy has to come today, what would that mean? There's a new concept, new word which we are hearing across the world called heutagogy. What does this mean? I as a student, in simple lines, I as a student choose what will I learn. I will choose how will I learn. And I will choose, please assess me the way I want you to assess me. Only written test scores doesn't justify that I don't know. Take an example. And this is something which I am picking up from NEP because we are working very closely with the central government on NEP. So the aspect of I want to learn, I want to choose what I want to learn. What is the second side of it? Can student play a role in curriculum defining definition and development? Second, I will choose how do I want to learn. You are teaching me photosynthesis, fine enough, no problem. I do not like someone to tell me this is the theory and this is the concept, this is what it is. I just step out in the sun and come back and tell you what is photosynthesis. It's perfect. Now at the end of the day, even I have learned and even the classroom student has learned. There is a third kind of student who loves to only hear some voice, music, and then learn. No problems. So way of learning changes totally. And then how should I be assessed? Should this assessment system be what it is today? Or should the assessment system completely turn on its head? You please assess me by asking questions. You assess me where I will do some work and show you. And give me marks. As straight as that. Why do I need to give a written test only and then only I get the marks? Now whatever I am talking here, you might be wondering, what am I talking about academia? Let me give an example of an NEP. And this is very critical for us to understand. Imagine a classroom in the school having all the students of 6th standard in the middle of the classroom and all the teachers of 6th standard around the classroom. Now can you imagine this? All teachers around the classroom, all students inside the classroom, whether section A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all inside. Now comes the topic, and the topic starts, let's talk about two-wheelers. Now which teacher will start first? Here starts the history teacher, who says this is the history of two-wheeler. Then comes the geography teacher, who talks about why the tires and rubber tubes are produced in certain countries because of certain atmosphere and maybe climatic conditions. Then physics teacher is still thinking, when is my turn? Then there is a teacher who is talking about how to sell two-wheeler. What do you talk about two-wheeler? What are the features of two-wheeler? Now imagine in the same classroom, student is learning exact application of everything, whether it is English, whether it is history, geography, economics, because somewhere cost will come in, somewhere price will come in. And imagine if the same example in class 6 becomes a 4-stroke engine in class 12, and the same students around, what will it do? So what I am taking you to is the exact example of applied learning right from schools, rather than coming up, and then of course graduation and other part also continues. Let me share some statistics with you. 16 million students appear in class 12 exam every year. 16 million in India. 6 million do not get neither into 42,000 colleges, nor in 20,000 ITI polytechnics, nor in skill development centers, right? So nor in BVOC, Bachelor of Vocational Studies. So 6 million we lose. What happens to those 6 million? The good news is that the whole gig economy today is capturing that part to some extent. So that's one side. The other side is, this is an example from AICTE, right from chairman himself. 36 lakhs seats in India in engineering colleges. In a year, how many gets filled? 18 lakhs. How many drop out in year 1? 6 lakhs. How many pass out? 12 lakhs. How many of them get jobs? On the optimistic side, I will see, it's always, we will say 25, 30, 40. But the point is, how many engineers do you come across who do not have job? Maybe the figure might be 60, 65%. So because generally the colleges don't track placement after a year or so. So the authenticity of the data becomes a problem. So now look at the challenge now. 1, 6 lakh dropouts. 2, people who are there, how many of them are getting good jobs? 3, what do we do with this huge vacant capacity line in all the colleges where there is huge capacity but no usage? Huge challenge in itself. So this is coming from the academia side. So what can academia do? Let me come to this part. I'll give an example from some very good examples from China and also from Germany. How is the curriculum developed in these countries? And this is a very good example. First 30% of the curriculum is developed by district, next 30% by state, and last 30% by center. What does it do? What it does is, a district which is rich in gold, students will understand that first, then the next, and then the next. So if you develop the curriculum like this and attach it with the example which I was sharing with you, the two-wheeler example, where all teachers around and students in the center, imagine what will be the learning in the classroom. That's what, the good news is NEP brings this to us, and in 4 schools in India, we are working with the government, we are trying this model, currently all around Madhya Pradesh, which is happening. But the good part is, this is something which can bring about a big change in terms of the way the education starts from school. Actually, from there, everything gets evolved. So of course, when we talk about, I think earlier during the day, the dignitaries were talking about, in fact, Sir was talking about how do we talk about the skill part and, skill hubs and then skill colleges and skill universities. That's one part. And the whole vocational education is already becoming part of the mainstream now. So for example, all your soft skills, I must give you this example. We did a survey with 1,500 employers in India. And we found out which is the domain where what do you need when you have to clear the interview. You'll be surprised there's not one domain where you do not require employability skills. You require the domain skills, you require the employability skills. And if you ask the question in that 30 minutes of interview, what do you need the most? Your articulation, the way you speak, the way you put it in your mind, the way, and Sir was just talking about confidence and the whole aspect of, communication being so important. So that's the piece after the survey, and that's the reason Wadhwani Foundation, we worked backward and we said, let us address the soft skill part to the whole nation across and then take this forward. So this was coming back. So first I spoke to you about what Wadhwani Foundation does. Next I spoke to you about the academia and the role of academia. So in terms of pedagogy as the next model as we move forward, and also in terms of curriculum development which can happen alongside. Now let's come to the role of industry. Actually, you know, I was in a conference somewhere where, Honorable Minister, when he walked into the room, it was a conference of CII, and the industry speakers were only two. So the whole problem was CII, but the industry is very less. It's not going to work, because academia and industry have to be together. It just cannot work otherwise. So now imagine the question which I was telling you about. Who will define which project to be done in class 6? Maybe only 4 or 5 projects. That's enough. For class 7, 3 or 4. Class 12, maybe 4 or 5. But who will define this? That's where industry plays the biggest role. Who will give the case studies of what is to be done in the classroom? Where the industry comes forward and says, okay, two-wheeler is a recent example. Should we take something on, on clean air? One of the examples would be clean air. I must give you this example of the entrepreneurial mindset. I think just before I touch upon this part, EMC curriculum was launched in certain states, and some of them are doing very well. I know of the example of 6 girls in a very, almost like a slum area in a government school, opened up a two-wheeler, air filling in the two-wheeler scooties of girls. From there, today they are, after 4 years, they are in Mahindra Electric, working in the electrical department of Mahindra. And everyone thought girls and two-wheeler and automobile, how this damn thing will work. And if you look at their evolution, this is from Sultanpuri, a very slum area in Delhi, right inside Delhi. But believe me, these are those students who survive on midday meals. They can't afford, three meals a day. Now from there, entrepreneurial mindset can do wonders of this nature. So entrepreneurship is one big piece which we spoke in the morning, and skilling and jobs is another piece which you spoke about. Let me finally come to the role of industry. On the industry part, one is the curriculum definition which I just spoke about. Second part is the knowledge partner with the academy. Does industry tell us these 7 roles will be out, we don't need them for the next 1 year, and these 5 is what we need in the next year. So now these conversations with the industry in terms of knowledge partner role by the industry is one very critical role which the industry plays. Content partner, again, who can give us the content better than in healthcare, better than a best known hospital? Who can give us the content in terms of hospitality than the best known hotels? And of course, many things are evolving today. Today, I must give you this example of, we work with a partner, and let me not take their name, but the whole aspect, the model was, how do you pick up a girl in a village who has done up to 10th standard, who can operate a mobile phone? Frontier markets, by the way, I can share the example. Finally, what is the role of this girl? She goes, why should village be away from placing online orders? Now this girl seems to be smarter, is able to take the orders from all households, and on Friday the vehicle comes to deliver the order in every village. It started off with just 12 to 15 villages, and now it is somewhere near 1200 to 1500 villages. And the whole strength of these, and you can understand how a unique idea of a smart person in a village can take the whole village, upward. In terms of, only point is she goes and explains, takes the order. That's it. And then her commission, by the way, gig jobs, you'll be surprised, because we also fund them. Salaries are nowhere less than 15,000 to 35,000 a month for this girl. So that's the example of those gig economies I'm talking about. Financial advisors are other roles. Another role which the industry can play very significantly. So knowledge partner, content partner, and then the hiring partner. Of course, we all spoke about it. Sir spoke about it about the internships and things like apprenticeship. And these are things which we need to really push in all our academia to ensure that the students make use of such things. So this is so from the industry side, it is the knowledge partner, the content partner, and the hiring partner. There is one last piece to it, which is progression partner. How many? I'll give an example. 12 boys from Madurai get a job in Zuri hotels in Bangalore. One fine day, after 3 months, all of them vanish back to Madurai without telling anybody. Problem? They were staying in a room in the hotel which very close was a toilet, and toilet was not cleaned properly. So we asked them, why didn't you raise this to your management? No, the supervisor is bad. He never listens. So we rather thought going back. So the last part of industry which can happen is progression. Ensuring this candidate is able to cope up with the workplace and get on to growth engine. That's the last part. And I can proudly share with you that we as foundation, have put a team of a lot of coaches and mentors to make this happening for the students who need help after you get onto your job and how you cope up with your simple things in the work. That's the last part of the employer. So I think with this, we spoke about earlier the foundation piece, what we do. Second piece, we spoke about the academia. And lastly, the role of industry. And thank you so much